in our case, the hardship could be explained by our choice, deliberate choice in investing in the future. In this particular case, we are not investing in the future, and we still have hardship because of the greed of people in government. And so, heads we lose, tails we lose. We are not enjoying today, and the future even looks more bleak than what we have. The future of the youth is destroyed. We've mortgaged the future of the younger ones by excessive borrowing. So the next generation are looking at no opportunities, but coming to face even worse hardship than we are facing.
Let's look
at...
That
is why they want a change to somebody who will lead the country. And even if we have to tighten our belts now, we are building a better future for our younger generation. The deliberate black painting of President John Dramani Mahama too has been exposed with the passage of time. We admitted the hardships at that time, but we said that the hardships are being brought about because of our investment into the future. And that if we tighten our belts now, the next generation will be better off. And we never blamed anybody for what was happening. We took responsibility for what was happening. And now you said, no, everything bad was caused by Mahama. You now change over to your saint. And now he comes and never takes responsibility for anything. Anything that has happened in this country was caused by somebody else,
so
apart from them.
Taking responsibility is the difference.
You take responsibility, and then you point to the people that, look, what I'm doing now is going to bear these fruits if we follow this trajectory. You cannot run a country like it's being done now without a significant portion of your resources going into investment into the future.
Well, still on this issue, the national chairman of the National Democratic Congress says the ideal number of MPs Ghana needs should be 200. He told Hot Issues host Kemni Amano that looking at the population size compared to other countries, the current 275 members of parliament is a large number. Ghana will, from January 7, 2025, have 276 MPs after the Electoral Commission last month laid a constitutional instrument before parliament for the creation of the Gwan constituency in the Oti region.
If I had my way, I would have preferred Ghana running with the 200 MPs that we projected when we were writing the Constitution. Unfortunately, there was a loophole in the Constitution that was exploited by President Kufuor's government, which was condoned by the then judiciary. And that is where we are now. We have opened the floodgates for anybody to create any number of constituencies so long as they find themselves in government. Because if you look at the clause that allows for the creation of constituencies, it states explicitly that constituencies boundaries can be revised after population census. You understand? The revision does not necessarily imply creating more constituencies. We are talking about shift in populations within the 10 years and so on that may make one constituency excessively large as against the other constituencies that are depopulated and so on.
Right.
So that was the thinking of the Consultative Assembly as at that time we were putting it there. So nobody anticipated that we'll be having close to 200-300 MPs as at this stage. But then we also put in another clause that required that if a government, in order to prevent gerrymandering, if a government wants to create constituencies, those constituencies cannot be used for the elections ahead. So that if you you propose constituencies, those proposed constituencies must form part of your manifesto getting into the election. So if you are defeated, those constituencies will not be created.
I see.
But when President Kufuor came and he created some constituencies, the matter was sent to court. In fact, the national chairman of MPP, President Kufuor's party at that time, spoke against it and said that, look, this one, we cannot create these constituencies and use them in the 2004 elections. So if we create them, if we want to create them now, we propose them. So it is only after 2004 that they can be used in the election. But the Supreme Court, instead of going into the merits of the case, they ruled based on the procedural issue, and then they never went into that thing. So President Kufuor was able to use those constituencies created that year and went into election with it. And that opened the floodgates